Hi, it's Nate Leslie here. I'm going to show you a practice plan today using 4 nets that can accommodate as many as 4 to 6 goalies and 25 to 30 skaters. Let's say the first roughly 5 minutes you're getting settled, a little bit of free time. This is in a 75-minute practice. We don't mind having a few minutes of free time where everybody's handling the puck and getting comfortable. And we're going to do 5 progressions out of the 4 corners. And let's say these 2 ends are working together and the other 2 ends are working together. And the first one is a little swarm and warm drill. You can put everybody's extra sticks out in the neutral zone. And we're going to talk a lot about work to rest ratio of about 3 to 1 here. So the idea with so many players is to keep everybody moving. So if we had between 6 and 8 players in every corner, we want to make sure we're sending about a third of them each time, so they're going every third time. Let's say you send 3 from each corner out into the middle. Same thing from the other end. They have 5, 10, 15 seconds stick handling around, deking each other, chipping the puck over these extra sticks laying out, and then on the next whistle they have to remember the order that they went out in, and the first one's coming down and shooting, then the second player's coming back and shooting, then the third player's coming back and shooting. In this progression you don't really need to switch sides, but it creates a little bit of time and space. You can also set a tire or a pylon here where they have to make a little fake and shoot, but you generally don't want them walking right in and scoring on a breakaway. Second progression from the same corners is a 2-on-0 switch puck. So on the whistle, this guy's leaving here and this guy's leaving here, and they're going to leave their pucks in an area, and the next guy comes and picks it up. Same thing, you can have a coach or a tire or a cone to fake and shoot, toe drag and shoot. This guy's going here and here, and then naturally it's easy to switch corners there. Okay? As soon as these players are coming back in, you got to get the next ones going, so you always actually have not only 2 but 4 and maybe even 6 going at once to keep that work to rest ratio appropriate, because if you have 6 or 7 in line you can't wait too long, otherwise it's too much standing around. The next progression is similar. They're going to come out, leave the puck, pick up their partner's puck here, and now a quick give and go down to this line and up as they come in and step into it, and all the shots coming from above the ringette line. This player would come and do the same thing, give and go with their new puck, and shoot on this side. Again, really easy to switch sides on that one. The next progression, staying in this corner, is the backwards little finish drill, carrying the puck backwards, fire a hard pass back to the line, get it back, and as soon as this player hits the blue line, they're pivoting to forwards, and the next one needs to go right away so that as this player comes in to shoot, they're not colliding here. So it keeps things moving as well. Again, next player comes and you're going. After your shot, you can switch corners fairly easily. Next one is similar, but we're going to turn it into a one-on-one now. First variation of the one-on-one is that the defender will turn his or her stick over. So let's say this player's coming backwards. Now you follow and playing catch here a couple times, and then as this player pivots to forwards and attacks down the wall, the defender that followed is going to come up, pivot to the middle of the ice and close the gap, and in the beginning stick turned over, trying to force player one side or another, and the same thing is happening out of here. After a few reps, then you can let them actually play it as a one-on-one, but it's a chance for this offensive player to work on their offensive moves just as much as it is, or more so, than the defenseman trying to break up this play here and kill the flow. That's why I like stick turned over sometimes, because you have a chance to let that forward attack that stick or attack that attack triangle. So again, it's more of an offensive tactic, working on your hands drill, than it is a one-on-one battle drill. Okay, the next drill, we'll get some full ice going. That's about, those 5 progressions could be 5 minutes each, times 5 progressions is about 25. So we're about half an hour into practice. We've had a ton of passes, ton of shots. Goalies have had lots of chance. I should mention on that, the give and go ones, the goalie can come off the post and challenge that shot too, so that they're being really active and aware of their crease position and attacking, challenging on the angles as well. The next one will go, players often itching for a full ice drill. So we're going to do a 3-on-2 regroup and attack. Breakout, 3-on-2 attack. So let's say we had the left wingers and the centermen here, and the right wingers here. We could have as many as 3 lines coming out of each end, and this should flow just fine. Takes a bit of coach help and takes everybody being ready. So coach steps out with pucks, puts one in the 2D, sorry, the extra D should be up here, alternating ends. The 2D are going to retreat back, working on whatever breakout you want, quick up, D to D, reverse, etc. You can add as many layers as you want, but for the sake of just the flow of the drill, here we go. This left winger jumps in, center jumps in, right winger jumps in, come back, break out against 2D here, who are backing, who have gapped up and now are backing up. And these forwards that break out are going to give it to these D, whatever kind of regroup you want, stay in your lane, center, mirror, coaches you decide, into this zone, attack back, and right away then these 2D have to retreat back, and these 3 forwards are jumping in, same thing here, 2 new D, jump out. So it's breakout, regroup with new D, get it back from them, attack against your defenseman. If that's too complicated, they can regroup with themselves, and as soon as they're gone past, the next 2D are jumping out and ready. Let's let that one run about 15 minutes, because with as many as 5 to 6 lines of players out there, you want to make sure you're getting the reps, and the second line has to be going before the first line, right after the first line regroups, to make sure that we keep that work to rest ratio going and everybody's getting as many reps in 15 minutes as possible. Okay, then we'll go to a little cycle drill. We're keeping the 1 net in the end, and again we want to keep everybody moving. So it's a little cycling options drill, 3 on 3. So let's say you designate a forward and 2 defensemen to start on a knee, and then 3 forwards, F1, F2, F3 are ready here. Everybody else is waiting outside the line with the coach. The same thing is happening in the other end. So as you can see, there's 6 players going here. You may have another 6 or even another 12 here, and they'd still be going work to rest ratio of 1 to 3. Each time they go, they should alternate from forward, and next time they play D. So these, in fact, could be all forwards. It's just man-on-man coverage. It doesn't have to be defensemen. It's a down-low battle drill more than a defensive zone coverage drill, so it doesn't really matter who's playing D. Coach puts the puck in. I'll just give you one cycling option as an example. F1 comes in and up the wall. F2 calls for the cycle back down low, and now F1 is the high guy. F3 can creep in here and then call for a chip with a weak side, play behind the net, and as soon as F3 touches it, and this F1 is coming over and this forward is coming over, as soon as F3 touches it, then these 3 players can activate, and you play down low for maybe 20 to 30 seconds. Instead of having the defensive team just fire the puck out, have them eat it along the wall or try to play keep away, play hog against these forecheckers and make them really fight to get the puck back. So it's 3 on 3 down low, goalie's getting the action, the extra goalie can be here or here with a goalie coach, or a goalie coach can be here talking to him or actually working that extra goalie, and then switch. So the same thing's going on the other end. So same thing you would have in a team practice with your whole team down here doing this one drill. We can have a ton of players active in this drill. I like that down low weak side play, so it's a chance to teach. We're not just doing drills for the sake of doing drills. We're trying to teach different little strategies that many of the kids you're working with probably haven't thought of before, if you're being creative and attentive to detail, but at the same time keeping them moving. We can't be standing around. So that was about minutes 45 to 60. Unbelievable. Things are going fast. Now we have about 15 minutes left. I'm going to show you a fun drill. Let's get all the goalies active again. And this one we like to call, it used to be called Remember Gretzky. Now out here on the West Coast, Remember the Sedins. If we put an imaginary line along these new goal lines, okay? It's a 3 on 3 game, but you've got 2 X's versus 2 O's. And then you've got an offensive player behind the offensive net that can roam anywhere from side to side. Okay? The X's would have their down low player here. In the beginning, you should say that you the defensive team can't go behind the net to attack that offensive player, but over time you can. So it's 2-on-2 cross ice plus your third player. When you bring it over this imaginary half line, or you can put a couple cones or a couple tires there, they have to give and go with that player behind the net before they're allowed to score. So it becomes a 2-against-3 for the defensive team. So it's an opportunity to work on back to your goalie, active stick in passing lanes, head on a swivel, and triangulation amongst the offensive team here. Okay? O's get it, they go the other way, they have to give and go with their player. You can have the same game going on the other end, or a different variation, just straight up 3-on-3. So you could play this for 10 to 12 minutes and have a few minutes of free time at the end of practice. Or you could have two different games going where you're playing 7 to 8 minutes each. Depends on how quickly your group can adjust and get into it. Okay, so just that's an example of keeping kids moving, a mix of team concept, individual skill, and competition. No one should be complaining about standing around too much, because we were conscious of a work-to-rest ratio of no more than 1 to 3 at all times. We did have 6 or 7 players in the line there early, so in the early drills you need to make sure that that you're going on the whistle so that you keep that one moving, so that while 2 players are going, the next 2 are going. But other than that, that's an example of a practice where you keep everybody moving, everybody engaged. We're covering a lot of different topics, and all of your assistant coaches and group leaders in your camp can be helping and be puck passers, can be organizing, can be getting the nets where they need to go. You got space through a lot of the practice for your goalie coach to work on some skating with extra goalies, or they can be interacting all over the ice. Okay, so that's an example. 4 to 6 goalies very easily, 4 nets, 25 to 30 skaters, even 32 skaters. No problem. 2 different levels. Most of that stuff you're divided by in at least half, if not in 4s, so you can accommodate for different levels as well. So I hope that helps. I encourage you to use that as a template. You can change the drills naturally, but a mix of those kinds of drills is what's going to make a large group practice successful, high energy, and fun. Thanks for watching.